for the Daily Text Roundup.
Oh, boy! I love text messages.
It's time for Jeff and Jeremy to get those text messages they've been needing. Saddle up, partners. The Daily Text Roundup is powered by Mama Leah's Pizzeria on Los Osos Valley Road in SLO.
Featuring the $5 slice. Get in for this major bastard. They got it's a journey, man.
You ever have pizza that tastes like a bastard?
Featuring better ingredients and better vibes. That's Mama Leah's in the Bear Valley Shopping Center, right off Los Osos Valley Road in SLO. Go tell them Jeff and Jeremy said, howdy, partner. I don't know why this is Western, but I didn't come up with the theme.
It's a roundup.
Oh, it's a roundup.
Have you ever heard a roundup that's rock and roll? I haven't.
The rock and roll roundup. You can create it. We'll roll with this for now. Oh my gosh! Some of my favorite text messages today are from the people that I know that constantly listen and interact with us. Like Kyle Hansen, he works up at Gar's Transmission. He buys a lot of cookies from Jeff's daughter for the shop.
Yeah,
but he always likes to throw fish pictures at me, and so he just sent me a picture of a bass, and it's 25 inches. Oh, it's a little short. My buddy caught a 7.5-pound, 24-inch largemouth at Margarita, Kyle. I have not. The biggest one I've ever caught at Margarita was probably, 4-pounder. So, nice job. You're not the winner today.
7:30 this morning, pro Airbnb Bill texted in. We were talking about Jeff Bezos, and this is something that didn't come up in the conversation. I'm glad you pointed it out, pro Airbnb Bill. He said Bezos even looks like an evil villain, which is really strange because I don't know what happened to his eye. Bezos has an eye where he's like...
Oh, it's kind of squinting, yeah.
It's Dr. Evil.
Maybe it's got some pulp in there.
Dr. Evil.
Squirted a lemon or something into his tea and he got some pulp in there.
What is weird, and I'm sure this is Googleable, and I've never gotten around to Googling it, but it's weird because I don't remember him when he was just selling books as a guy that had this eye thing going on, but now as he acquires more power, like the most power on the planet, I believe, and money, the most money on the planet, I believe, his eye goes down into this like, and he shaves his head bald. Now, I'm sure he shaves his head bald because he's probably got male pattern baldness, and that's what a lot of people do when they shave their head bald and they're an alpha. They go for it and they take it all off. But the eye thing, you can't describe to me. I don't understand that. Is that just something that comes with accruing all that power? Your eye eventually goes down? I don't know. And it could be a condition.
You would just think with the hundreds of billions of dollars that he has, he could get that fixed.
Yeah. And boy, that was such a good text, but we had even a better one, and we got him on the line right now.
Yeah, Aaron wrote in, Narci Erin, he says, Jeremy, you ever caught a big fish, 50-plus pounds? I have. Caught a white sturgeon, about 8 foot, 350 pounds, a couple of summers ago.
You don't know how much it weighed because you can't take it out of the water.
No, you can't, but there's a chart. Length, go behind the gills, the gills, measure the width, and that gives you a range. And it could have weighed more.
If you're gonna sell it for shroot bucks, how many shroot bucks would it cost?
350 billion shroot bucks.
That's what I'm saying. You can't go based on a chart. I believe scales.
He says a fish that was caught by a customer of mine drowned after 3 hours. Let's find out what that's all about. Hello, Aaron.
Okay, well, you know what? It's an interesting thing because I've never heard of it before. And in 51 years on Earth, I would have thought I would have heard about this because I go deep sea fishing all the time. It's my favorite thing to do. I know you like the lake fish and all that, and that's great, and I enjoy that as well.
I do both, actually.
I like bigger fish, so... and we know what's in the lake. We know what's stocked.
None of this pansy ass crap for you, right, Aaron? It's full bore, right?
Yeah. No, I go big. And
where do you go deep sea fishing at?
Maui, right out here out of Morro Bay. I've been a few times.
He doesn't even bother with Morro Bay.
Yeah, he goes right to Maui.
Maui first, then Morro Bay second.
This is all right. Hey, everybody, grab your popcorn and cotton candy. We're in for a doozy.
No, I'm getting ready to go to Cabo, and I really want to. and I want to fish there. But one of my customers came back from there with a fish that was about 5 pounds lighter than him, and it was a yellowfin tuna.
Yeah.
And he pulled the whole thing in with 40-pound line because they didn't expect to catch a fish that big.
Mm-hmm.
And it took him 3 hours to pull this fish in. And the weirdest thing that this is something I've never heard before. Actually, the fish drowned before he could even pull it into the boat. So they didn't even really need to gaff it. They just netted it.
That's odd.
So
none of this makes sense. Number one, you could never catch a 200 plus. Is this a joke? Is this a really bad long joke? Because none of what you just said makes sense. Number one, fish can't drown in the ocean; they can get tired.
No, if they get so tired, they quit moving and their gills don't work anymore, and they drown in the water.
There's no D on drowned; it's just drown.
Drown. Sorry.
Well, there is a D on the beginning,
and I doubt they were using 40-pound tests, huh?
There is a
he
D on the
said
beginning.
he was using the 40-pound test. This is my customer, and he had to pull this fish in that weighed about 120 or something.
Okay, but yeah, they get really big down there. I've seen a lot of it. I've not caught a tuna
our
down
good
there,
friend
but
Jeff
I've seen
Stolberg caught one. Remember, he went to some fishing village. It wasn't even like in Cabo. It was like somewhere on up the coast, quite a ways.
Was this yellowfin tuna?
Yes, it was, and he caught it was close to a record, and he showed us the picture of it, and it was the same kind of scenario where he didn't have huge test on it, but he fought it for a long time, and eventually they got it up into the boat. Okay, this is what Google says about fish drowning. Okay, they are physically incapable of drowning because they have gills and not lungs. According to what Jeremy said, they can die if there's not enough dissolved oxygen in the water, which could make them suffocate technically. But that is a technical suffocation, and I'm guessing since this was the ocean, there was plenty of dissolved oxygen in the water. And the other
thing that I have a problem with your story is if it's a 120-plus pound tuna, how do you think they're going to pick it up out of the water? They're going to use a gaff. So when you say they didn't even gaff it.
They're going to have to gaff it. They're going to have to gaff it.
You just said they didn't gaff it because it drowned.
Well, I wasn't there, Jeremy. I believe that they pulled it in. They pulled it in.
Wait,
I'm sure they probably.
Is this a secondhand fish story?
Yeah,
is this a secondhand fish story this morning?
Okay, Aaron, I'm going to let you finish your story though, because I feel like this is going to have a great ending.
But the good thing is, do you know the person personally that told you the story?
Yes. Now, there's a picture on his wall in his garage. I just did some work for him last week.
Okay, now you could go back to him and say, "Hey, I've got all kinds of holes in your story, and I'm not talking about the one that you used the gaff with."
That's very true.
Okay, so how does it end?
How does it end? He got the fish, sold the fish in Cabo San Lucas, and I've never heard of a fish drowning in my life, and that was the reason I called, because I think it does happen.
Google says.
And I'll bet that there are some men out there or women that love to fish in this county that will call and say, "Yep, that happened to me too."
I mean,
you're telling me, Jeremy,
a fish can die, but it's not going to drown.
You've never pulled in a dead fish.
No.
Can a fish drown in water? This is fishkeeping.com. Naturally, fish cannot drown because they can get oxygen from water. Unlike humans, fish do not have lungs, so they can take in as much water as they can possibly handle.
Lawn Boy Kevin just wrote in. He says, this is a super educated audience.
Lawn Boy Kevin. Yeah. Anyway.
I think what you said makes a lot of sense.
Fish can drown, and I'm waiting for people to call back and explain that, and I want to hear it.
Well, all right, buddy. Have a good day.
You too. See ya.
Jesus, what is going on today? Am I here or is this a dream? Wake up! Wake up! Another story of a conference that he went to that I was reading, where he emailed somebody and said, "Hey, a great conference today. Would you like to have dinner with me tonight? If this makes you uncomfortable, don't worry about it. Just pretend it never happened." Right?
The fact that he puts that in there raises some red flags. Well, why can't you just say, "Hey,
maybe he's not a smooth talker. Maybe
I want to talk to you about some of your ideas," and leave it at that.
We're talking about a guy that developed computers in his garage and is now a billionaire. I'm just saying, maybe he doesn't have the best social skills.
So then he's like, "I'm sorry if this makes you comfortable if I want to talk to you, but I mean, come on. I mean, that's...
But there's nothing wrong with that. Just because he asked somebody to dinner doesn't mean anything.
I immediately think that if he puts the disclaimer on that, if this makes you uncomfortable, disregard.
He is her boss.
The fact that he's putting the disclaimer on there, a boss and an employee should be able to have dinner and talk about ideas of work without anything being implied there. Especially at that level where you're dealing with creativity.
This is the New York GD Times. This is the New York Times and the Washington Journal. Are you kidding me?
Well, they love to tear people down.
Come on. Why? You can't find anything else that's more educational that will educate society to write about?
It's scintillating. This is why we talk about it, right?
Yeah, it got me to click. I'm a sucker, I guess. I'm kind of pissed that I clicked now. But at the same time, I'm not, because now I can read through this BS. Now, maybe he did have an affair with some woman at Microsoft, and there's rumors that that's why he was forced out. Because he kept, approaching women, and the board was getting uncomfortable, and they were worried it was going to turn into a bad situation. A spokesman for Bill downplayed the Times report, but didn't appear to outright deny the advances. She did, however, cop to Bill having an affair 20 years ago, which she says ended amicably.
I've heard all kinds of Bill Gates
Boy, that's
stories.
a hard word for me to say. Amicably. Can you say that word? Amicably?
Amicably.
Thank you. Okay, I'm saying it right. A little slushy.
Don't use me as a gauge.
And played no role in his decision to step down from Microsoft. That's from Bill's Gates spokeswoman. So, I don't know. It's all just a lot of reach, if you ask me.
Hashtag making something out of nothing.
Yeah. Maybe.
Don Lemon, he's the host of CNN Tonight with Don Lemon. This is what
Who's that again?
Don Lemon is the host of CNN Tonight with Don Lemon. He wanted to bring attention upon himself, so he took to Instagram like many Americans do.
Down to my office after the show. Everybody calm down. I didn't say I was leaving CNN. I just said it was the end of an era for CNN Tonight with Don Lemon. I'm not leaving CNN, so you will have to tune in Monday at 10 o'clock to see. That's it. So relax.
Well, then maybe don't say that.
I'm not leaving.
So
you know why he did this? Because Ellen. I'm sure because Ellen came out and said that she was ending her show.
So Don Lemon was capitalized because they're changing the name of the show from CNN Tonight with Don Lemon to Don Lemon Tonight.
How does this guy have a show at all? He's terrible. He's absolutely terrible. I've watched his show. It's so bad.
I cannot.
But he panders to that the sky is falling crowd. You know what I mean? That thinks everything is crumbling down around them. Thinks that everybody's coming to get them. Especially if they're not in that liberal party. He very much toes that line.
Speaking of,
maybe he's the equivalent of Tucker Carlson tonight. I don't know. But I've watched both shows, and I tell you, the people that work on Tucker Carlson tonight are leaps and bounds ahead of what he's trying to do at CNN. Or they're trying to do.
We were speaking about Ellen last week, and there was a, and I was thinking, whatever happened to the kids that Ellen used to showcase on her show? I would like to see what they're doing now, type thing. This is kind of from the same vein of this. There was a kid reporter who 12 years ago, in 2009, at the age of 11, he scored an interview with Barack Obama right after he was elected president of the United States. He has recently passed away. This is what Damon Weaver did at the age of 11.
Vice President Joe Biden, he became my homeboy. Now that I interviewed you, would you like to become my homeboy?
Absolutely. Thank you, man. Great job.
Thanks for making my dream come true.
Well, I appreciate it. You did an outstanding job. I look forward to seeing you in the future.
He passed away 2 weeks ago of natural causes at the age of 23.
Oh, that sucks.
That's sad, man.
Yeah.
That was confirmed by his sister. He also interviewed, of course, as you mentioned there, Joe Biden, Dwayne Wade, and Oprah Winfrey as a kid reporter in 2009. Doesn't say what happened from 2009 to his untimely demise. just 2 weeks ago.
You know, people all the time, they'll have an aneurysm. I mean, things happen. It's sad. Sucks.
He attended Albany State University in Georgia with a degree in communications. Definitely had the...
yeah, you wanted to be a reporter, right?
But he died of natural causes.
What if your whole
life...
life...
What is natural causes at the age of 23?
The biggest story you did, your whole career, was when you were 11, and for a stunt, you got to interview the president.
You peaked at 11.
You peaked at 11. And you were never... I mean, your whole career, you would be trying to peak, right?
Right.
Or at least... But you're not 11 anymore, and it's not cute, and it's not a stunt, so you got to earn it.
Sad.
Anyways, yeah, it is very sad he died at 23. Thanks for bringing the room down. All right, coming up, Van Halen.
Well, as if you didn't do it with Tucker. I guess you
only to some.
Only brought half the room down.
Only to some. You don't know if it's half.
But pretty festive yesterday. People eating outside, people eating inside, people eating outside. It's outside. It's an outside-inside sandwich at Pappy McGregor's. Because you got now outside on the parklets, then you got the inside little area, then you got the outside in the courtyard, and then if you want to add another level to that, add 1122. That's right behind it. That's another level of inside. We got your chance to win a $25 gift card to one of either of the places that you want to go to, 1122. Or Pappy McGregor's this morning. If you can tell us. Let's see here.
Wait, you've had 4 hours to come up with this question.
I know. But I kind of want to go.
You doing an Omaha?
I kind of want to go audible on this. What did we find out fish cannot do? Fish cannot do this morning.
I've been trying all night long just to talk to you.
Is that song, would that be considered sexual harassment? No. Lay down, Sally. I've been trying all night long.
No, it's about his dog.
Oh.
Lay down, Sally. You've done that with your dog, right?
But I've been trying all night long just to talk to you? I mean,
Yeah,
come on,
you know.
you can talk to the dog as much as you want.
Yeah, the dog doesn't listen, though.
Yeah, I mean, it all depends
You're
on
telling
who-
them to lay down, and they don't listen.
Yeah.
Trying to talk,
Yeah, but if you just walked up to Sally over there in payroll and said, "Hey, lay down, Sally, I want to talk to you," then yeah, that might be
That
a
would be
problem.
sexual harassment.
Yeah, or it's like jumping the gun a bit. I've been trying to talk to you, so lay down. It's like, don't you talk first and then,
Talk, and then that works to laying down, not lay down, then talk. You're putting the cart in front of the horse, Eric.
All right, Glenn, you're first up today, buddy. You're the first one to get through. What is it that we found out that Jeff looked it up? Narci says it could happen. I say no way. Jeff looks it up, says fish can't do this.
Fish cannot drown.
That is correct.
Yeah, you're a winner. Congratulations.
Well, what do you need to drown? Water, right?
Did you think for a moment that fish could drown?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Well, see,
I'm actually highly allergic to fish. I can't even touch it or get near them or anything like that.
but you guys
for
understand what
visible
drowning
existence.
is, right? It's when you inhale water into your lungs and you can't take air in anymore.
Well, what do you call it when a
Right.
fish is out of water? Is that their version of drowning?
Yeah, but it's not called drowning. I know that.
Then what do you call it? Fish expert.
Running out of oxygen.
Oh, okay.
Uncomfortable situation. That's fish
Sounds
out
like
of water.
drowning to me.
But I'm not just going to make something up and call up and
Asphyxiation?
say, "Hey,
just an uncomfortable
you know,
situation.
fish can drown."
Yeah. Well, if you believe it, truth loudly enough, then it's true.
Well, and that's the thing is Aaron calls up and he spews misinformation as if it's fact, but he's very.
If you do it with conviction,
yeah,
yes.
he's like, oh yeah, I was at a buddy's house. He was showing me a picture of the fish. He said he drowned it before it came up, and we're like, what? Hold on a second. Let me get to Google. Can you do that on your smartphone? Like if somebody's telling you something, you're like, hold on a second. Let me fact check that.
You can.
You can, but it makes you seem like a big jerk.
Doesn't do any good.
No, I guess that's why we have jobs.
I